Listen. You always like the Browns defense. Right now, 29 points per game, 25th in the league, but they're only giving up 191 yards per game. They played the Bengals and the Ravens. Like, this is a good defense. They average 2.1 yards on the ground, first in the league. 45.5 yards per game on the ground, first in the league. Like, this is a very good downhill aggressive defense. You like what you see out of Devin Bush. Obviously, you like the rookie Mason Graham, but everything stops and starts with this team, and really the entire team with Myles Garrett. He's a special player. He looks even better this year. You know, that bag, he's not holding him back at all. He's a phenomenal player. One thing the Ravens did a great job of this weekend, past weekend, against the Browns, is they run a ton of crossing routes. So we start off here when they go motion, and they're just resetting their edge here. And what they've done is they've allowed this guy now to bang out here on Garrett, and then he's just going to follow through. We're going to run the crossing here so we can get the little rub downhill, and then we've got a little check outside as well to help Garrett. They've got this 3 down. You see this from the Baltimore Ravens. You see 3 to a side. This is I think this is the first 3rd down play of the game. And so how we want to attack this from a pass protection standpoint is obviously very important, particularly if Zach Tom's still out of the equation. I think personally, if you're asking me, I think the Cleveland Browns do a disservice to Myles Garrett when they don't let him just rush the passer and they start doing all this nonsense. I think this only gets in his way. But you see the crossing route up at the top. He bangs out, gets down, enough for the first down. Easy stuff. Really got 5 down linemen in the game here now to stop that rushing attack. And so they just flick it out. Obviously, just playing a numbers game here. This is something when you just think about what the Green Bay Packers are capable of doing. If they're going to go 5 down against like 12 personnel and try to stop this running game, they have Derrick Henry, we have Josh Jacobs, same to me. But they're going to motion this guy across. And this player becomes just naturally soft. This guy's going to soften up a little bit. And all this motion usually does is soften up the defense, gives you an opportunity to release the way that you want. So we go across. They just run the bubble. And because of the speed. And one thing I love about this play in particular, and this is something you see with our athletic offensive lineman on the right side, is being able to get out. You just see Zach Tom being able to make that block as well. Look at that right tackle, just knock that dude flat on his ass. I did not see that earlier, and I'm glad I saw it now. God, I love this sport. Okay, we got 2nd and 4 here. They start in a bunch. They go motion again. Corner tries to hug up, so they bring him back. They've seen that what they want. They're getting that man look. This is what you appreciate about this football team, is they play fast and they play downhill, and they really, they take on the personality of their star player. This guy brings it. You see they're bringing the backside safety. Just love the aggressiveness that these guys bring. He's just a fan of football. And first of all, let's just watch how we take on the block here. Give credit where credit's due. These guys are playing hard. This guy comes off like he shot out of a cannon. What is all this stuff? Let me get rid of all that. This guy comes out like he shot off a cannon. And he just destroys this play before it even gets a chance to start. You see the penetration everywhere. 94, the rookie Mason Graham. Great job getting on that down block. Looking at number 94 here. Really following Linderbaum in center. Kind of gets to his block before he can. They are very, very good. We're talking about a good Baltimore Ravens blocking unit. Obviously, Derrick Henry and company, Lamar Jackson and company. So these guys are making games interesting. We've already shown the offense kind of some of their deficiencies, but these are good players. Like the coordinators are going to be looking at these plays, and they're going to see this guy get real kind of nosy and head this way, and we've got a dude going out here, and these plays are, these are Green Bay Packer plays. And so Jordan Love, if he does have time, if we figure out a way to get time on Myles Garrett, then you're going to have opportunities to make these throws. Now, having said that, if we watch this from the end zone, there's a reason this play doesn't kind of hook up like you expect it to. And the reason is Myles Garrett. Watch him here. I don't know if I can show this play in slow-mo, but what he's able to do with the way he contort his body at 6'5", 280 or 285 pounds, and then get all the way around and force the quarterback. This is right there. What are we doing? He looks like he's in the goddamn Matrix or something like that. Like, what are we talking about here? Look, I don't know if anybody can see this, but I've never been in that position in my entire life. That has ended not in something like going to the hospital. That is absolutely ridiculous. So he gives the tackle, who's Ronnie Stanley, good tackle, back shoulder, super wide jump, gets his outside foot planted, and then he's able to turn the corner here and really force Lamar to move forward and now have to reset and throw again. And that's why the timing's off on the play. Hey, listen, all the scheme and all the other things, it's like, well, Myles Garrett made him step up. We got a problem. Got Mark Andrews there up top. Otherwise, you got a 3-by-1. Chip out. Another crossing route. Very, very similar. They don't bang out on this side this time. We're talking about here. He doesn't bang out. He just goes straight and across and bang out there and go across. And look, we've got a bunch of other things happening here, but really they're just looking to see if they're going to play this in zone or they're going to have to sit down. Can they run through it? And, the Ravens are always very good at this. The Packers are very good at this. These are plays where you're kind of figuring out, how do I get myself in these kind of formations? And you see 21 bails, but he's still playing 8 yards off. So we're just getting, and then yards after yards after catch. Just a lot of opportunities here. Okay, a lot you can do from this formation under center. And this is what I love about Baltimore, the way they dress things up, and then obviously having the run threat that we feel like we have for the Green Bay Packers. But you're under center. You've now gone to a bunch formation. Your tight end is in a position here where he can go here, he can block, he can pass pro, he can release, he can be part of this. He can be part of this kind of this bunch look. Like, we've got a lot of things going, and then you've got the nasty split. And so that gives you the opportunity to run across. That gives you the opportunity to run out. That gives you the opportunity to run up and out, okay? So there's a lot of things you can do from this formation. We haven't even talked about the running game yet. But it allows you to kind of use the entire field and expand the grass post-snap. And what do we end up with? Really just another crossing route. Another way to dress it up. These guys drop into zone. They do a great job. Again, you're always trying to put somebody in conflict in these plays. And for the Cleveland Browns, the good news about the Ravens and the Packers is that you have different ways to find players to put them in conflict. So right here, you're putting him in conflict by sending this player up the field. Got the underneath, and this guy's coming straight across. Got out here to take this flat player. You've got the drop, and so there's going to be this hole where this guy has to move and then immediately redirect and go make this play. That's a lot of stripes on that. A lot of action on that screen there. I think I'm probably getting a little too excited with this new Epic Pen. This is something it's just as a football fan, I love to watch. I really like the way, I think is that Bryce Huff? I think that's how Bryce Huff, but I love the way these guys play, man. Watch the end of this play where he's just he's going to take the cut and then just dives and goes after the tackle, right? Now, if that was Tom Brady, they'd get 15 yards, but it's not, so we're good. Just kind of an interesting position here, isn't it? The way that we're looking. Is this me telling you, hey, I'm definitely chipping you right here. I want you to be well aware of what's going on. Garrett takes the inside, doesn't matter. All the best laid plans, guys, is it boils down to, in these games, can you win your 1v1 matchup? So he's showing chip. But we still just got a 1v1. And at the end of this, you're going to rush 4 because you got good pass rushers and you got an exceptional one in Myles Garrett. Can you win your 1v1s? All the other route combinations and the coverages, and hey, we got this great line, we got all this stuff going on. Can this dude win? Can this dude win? If the answer is yes, a lot of problems get resolved. That's one thing we have to be hyper aware of. We've obviously got one of the better pocket movers on the planet with Lamar Jackson here, but it doesn't really seem to matter when you can gain ground like Myles Garrett does, pushes in pocket, spins out, and then gets help from his buddy on the backside. Who actually has a really good rush as well. The speed of play here for these guys is something I just don't think we've seen over the last couple of weeks, quite frankly, consistently. This D-line group is really playing downhill. They really play well together. All right, we got gun motion over to 3-by-1. At offset. Now, this position's kind of interesting, and we've seen this a lot here. I'm talking about that tight end or that F position. More often than not now, you're seeing these guys kind of line up in a space where they can chip out. This really turns into you don't think of this as a run formation, or at least a strong side run formation. Now, you could certainly, hypothetically, you can come down and try to block this guy downhill, but honestly, it's a really, really tough block for him. So you're kind of thinking, particularly in here, you're not gonna toss this out. You're probably gonna come downhill if you're running the football. This is a very advantageous box to run in. You only got a 6-man box here, and you can definitely mark up here. So I like these formations. These little positions kind of put conflict with the defense and where they want to play their apex guy, their overhang. Cleveland Browns are going to have to figure that out with us as well, with all the motions and shifts that we do. So they run, but again, I say all that to say, and I'm sure you guys have seen this play on social media, it doesn't matter because this dude just does things differently than everybody else. See if I can get it on the screen here. We're watching Myles Garrett. He's just coming off the screen. He'll come in here like a flash in a second. And, just from my experience playing offensive line, I don't know what you do with that. You don't love Ronnie Stanley's footwork, and you can start talking about all this, but it's like, man, if you don't gain ground against this guy, you really are asking for trouble. Also, give credit where credit's due. 94 Mason Graham over the right guard here at the 2-eye position. Come on, Mike. Mason Graham is the right guard, over the right guard at the 2-eye position. Watch how he plays this backside. Does a good job. He's going to be involved in that play as well. He is fast. He's low to the ground. Good player. Going to be an interesting matchup there as well. Okay. Now we got Lamar doing some Lamar things. Motion to 2-by-2, or shifted 2-by-2, motion out. Love this play. Turns into kind of an interesting insert release, like it's a run almost, right? So we block out here, insert here, and then end up running out. They got a little show and keep. Keep Garrett out of there. Not many quarterbacks can make that play. Lamar can. I think Jordan Love can as well. So this is what you're dealing with from a pass rush standpoint. You just see the speed off the ball. The pressure, people are coming through. A little bit of a sieve there. He's got to throw the ball away. And everybody's, we see the chip over there by Andrews. But really, pressure comes from all-pro center, gets beat really bad, tries to spin. That's actually a nice little move by Linderbaum there. Tries to spin back into it. But these guys are playing really fast. You love the club from the D tackle. You like the way these guys play. It's hard not to. 2-by-2, again, you're in that kind of that position where this is now a passing formation, and you can tell that if I back up, this player is telling you it's pass. That player is telling you it's pass. So we got to dress this position up. A lot of guys are using this. We got to dress that position up, whether it's by motion, whether it's by coming inside out. You always have to be out of the way of the tackle's kick. but we don't want to make it obvious because these kind of plays they only happen with this guy. I think that's that Hopkins down there. But I don't know anybody who watched this game. I think they were down on the 1 yard line. They got backed up. I think they got 2 chances at the end zone, like 2 separate series. And this is how it ends. Or at least how the first part of it ends is Garrett gets you again. Again, the most elusive quarterback maybe to ever play the football game. Ronnie Staley has been all pro. You just see the hands here by Garrett. And he's, you're worried about the bull. He just goes hands down, double swipe down with the rip. Can just very, very unique bend. Ends up making the play. All right, we got a little bunch, little gun. The emotion out of it. Chip, love this play. And I think these are available. You see what happens here when you show this. This ends up running like a running back Texas route, right? And I'm looking at pointing directly at here. Kind of looks like he's going flat and he comes back. It makes this guy, because he doesn't want to chase underneath, so he plays over the top. And it allows them, it allows space. We got an inside release here. But it allows our interior lineman to come up and really not worry about him and end up blocking these two guys. So great play design. I'm sure the Packers have something similar in their bag. It's just how you want to get there. And, all like Matt LaFleur and his staff are doing is going like, how do we get this guy to play over the top like this again so we can come back? And he's just out of the play completely. It's a good little 10-yard pickup. Another bunch. Again, this is not a play because of that tight end. As I'm watching this tight end is taking himself out of the split flow conversation. Maybe the running back has with his width as well. We go motion. The Browns here are playing single high. Just like a standard cover 3, really. They find the soft spot. Good tackling. A lot of people to the ball. These guys play hard. They play fast. They don't make a lot of mistakes. In this game in particular, you start watching the game over and over, and it's like, how many plays does Lamar Jackson make that other people can't? And then you have all these other good players on their team as well, including their offensive line. Got the deep drop here. This is kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's like, what are we doing? That's, you look at this pass rush and you kind of, okay, what do we have to worry about here? So they got their 4 down. They mug the Mike linebacker up here. And now you're kind of going 5 down. Are you keeping it back in? You see this position again is telegraphing, I'm going to bang out, or at least you have to consider me for the defensive end as a guy is going to bang out here and give my tackle time. What that allows the tackle to do, and something we kind of think about is, you're setting here, but you can kind of slow set this because you're going to get a little bump here. This guy could come late, but that's not that big of a deal. Tight end can always pick that up, or depending on how they want to switch that. So you're set up for success. And now it's just a question of can the guys that are in the, you're making your money over here at the left tackle position right now. And I've said this before. I really think the Browns do themselves a disservice when they don't just let this guy go one-on-one with whoever it is, whether it's Rasheed Walker, whether it's Zach Tom, whether it's Jordan Morgan, whoever's out there. Like I am giving that guy as many one-on-ones as possible. You love when they don't. You see how he gets all jumbled up. Again, this is one of those plays where I don't know how many guys can make that throw, make that escape. They start with in really 22 personnel, motion across, toss play. They ran this twice. I think I only put one of them on here. I really like this play. I'll show you from the end zone. A lot of teams are running this play now. They motion across. Now, you can't see just outside is, again, Mark Andrews is in that kind of wide split here. And what they do is they're saying, hey, we're going to block down. I know you guys can't see that line, but we're just going to go through. And we're just saying that tackle can capture Devin Bush. And then we've got the lead blocker. Ooh, that's the wrong one. Then we've got the lead blocker coming through here. And then we've got big Derrick Henry running on the toss play. Like, this is a very good play because we have angles everywhere. Like, we've got a great angle here. We can actually get a hand on if we want. We can go through here, right? We're really running on the safety as long as we can make, and this is a big if, you can make that block. I'm a big fan of this play. I know the Packers have this play as well. I think it's just different the way they do it. And maybe it's, very specifically because who's playing out there with the Cleveland Browns and that angle they're taking off. Like, it looks like that defensive end, it looks like that defensive end isn't even thinking about getting blocked right here, which is kind of wild to me. Last play I'll show you. They go 2x2. They motion over. You're looking again at some of these keys. You want to just be able to, for me personally, I just want to hide as much of the obvious stuff as I can. A lot of this, obviously, with the pass set and everything, and you're going to have to do that with Myles Garrett. He's so wide. He just covers so much ground. But you don't want to give up too many tells against this defense. As we watch this play unfold, we come in motion. They run the quick out. And then they really just, that safety has to go down and take the quick out. So they've got the corner. And with that motion coming across, they identify that as most likely man coverage. He's already got tons of leverage because it was a fast motion. So what do I mean by that? I mean, this player is really at a disadvantage for any out route now if they're going man. So as soon as this guy bites on this one, we're going to have a ton of space out here to the corner. And as long as that safety doesn't widen, you got to feel really good about your opportunity for that throw. Because they being the Ravens, because they take this player and send him through the split, they make this backside safety hold. By doing that, we take the leverage, easy pitch and catch. This is a very good football team, but you see a lot of opportunities as long as you can stop that pass rush. And the good news is, I think, it will be really interesting to see how much pressure they try to put on Jordan Love. He's had different results with pressure over the course of his career. I think that'll be a major influence. Obviously, you have to gear up to stop Myles Garrett. He's an absolute game plan guy. Those rest of the guys are going to have to hold up. But you see the opportunities on the back end, multiple different routes. You talk about the Texas route. You talk about all the crossers. You talk about the deep outs. There's a lot of stuff on the menu that looks good as long as you can hold up in pass pro.